Well, here we are. This is technically day 5, the 5th video that we'll be posting, Lord willing. And there's Ann behind us, and here we are. And so we had a good night's rest and a good breakfast of, what was breakfast? Usually coleslaw and cabbage and some fish and stuff, but it's still good. And they did have cereal, yes. And so right now we're headed to En Gedi, and we'll learn more about that. And then we will head to the caves of Qumran, where what was discovered there? The Dead Sea Scrolls, yes. And that's always been exciting. That's a passionate thing to understand. Those were found in 1947, just a year before the reestablishment of Israel, that the Lord's hand was working. And we've talked about that in class, for those of you that have me for Bible, at least some of the classes. And so, and then we will head on to Bethlehem, and then later on into the holy city, which is called what? And that's what your hat says. So anyway, more to come today, and I hope you'll check out those other videos.
En Gedi Spa was built here in 1975.
It's going to be a great day, I know. This is still the Dead Sea that we're in that area of. Just see, it's an eerie sense. You have this giant body of water with desert all around. You got to remember that everything in the body of water is dead too. These are some of the caves of En Gedi, where David would have come, would have hid out. You can see some of these look like they have been inhabited. There's some lintel around that doorpost. All right, have these little oases along the way, little waterfalls. Come down in the mountain here where Saul in one of these caves was relieving himself, whatever that means, and David snuck up and cut off a piece of his robe, and but didn't kill him. I'm sure there's a lesson there, but we won't spiritualize that today. But anyway, it's great. In the middle of the desert, and all that desert wasteland, there is an oasis. Here's the third and thankfully final waterfall of this place. It's pretty. Kind of a natural little hollow place here.
You don't get the diploma.
Hard to, once again, get it all on film. This is the tree that they made the crown of thorns. I don't know if you can see I can focus in. You can notice the size of the thorns.
Well, the camera.
And this is there's one that's over an inch. Imagine that made into a crown and fastened in a circle and slammed down on your head. Very, very horrifically painful. There's an ibex. See if we can dial in here.
What? What's your problem?
My horn.
Right on the big one. Big ibex. Pots representing those where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found. These mountains are the caves of Qumran. Let's see, there's 13 caves all through here. There's one up there. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's so bright. There we go. It's actually a person in that cave. Yeah. The site was excavated in the 50s. They were trying to capitalize on these and sell them. Once again, they're significant because they support the reliability, validity of Scripture. It's a significant thing.
Then there's camels up on the mountain.
Shepherds right there. Sheep.
Camels.
And then up on this hillside. Of course, this is just right in a populated area.
Camels on the right.
And you are great. Great assistant.
I like safari.
Camels on the right.
Here we have a Bedouin village.
Oh, I see, yeah.
This may be one of the nicer ones right here.
Ramallah, yes. Ramallah is the capital of the Palestinian Authority, this sub-state that we have in Israel.
Really third world environments in the
Ramallah is
village.
amazing.
This is biblical Bethany. Right here, a town today, it's called Azariah, established in the 1970s, I believe he said. You'll notice, look up through there, you can see those Islamic mosques standing up in there. We're on a crazy road here in Palestinian-controlled area, and I mean, we are up high. You can look out through there. Now we're passing a tractor trailer. Makes for an exciting ride. These would have all been shepherd fields where the angels would have announced to the shepherds the birth of Jesus. And then they said, let us go up to Bethlehem, which is in front of us. The streets are absolutely packed, and he is navigating this 40-foot bus through a place that I think would be very difficult to get us through, and he's doing a great job. There's just lots of souvenir shops. He said here in Bethlehem the greatest source of industry or income is tourism, and so these tourist buses like ours, pilgrim buses, are very important to the people here and their livelihoods. This is the Church of the Holy Nativity. It is, where they say Jesus was born here in Bethlehem. And so they built a church over it, and this is that church. This is just the front of the church. Catholic church. Lots of stuff hanging around. Selling candles. You can light them up and do prayers or some kind of thing for that. Lots of people here to see this thing here. What this is kind of a stairwell hole in the floor that leads down to that little doorway, and I guess that's where it's all at. So anyway, the crowd's moving extremely slow, but we'll get there, sure enough.
Por otro lado, por ese lado, por otro lado, 40 minutos esperando.
Quería parar para que estaban adelante de nosotros. En el momento.
This is supposed to be the place of the manger. Very popular place.
Oh, okay. Go up, get out. Okay.
Instead of that,
This is the Church of St. Catherine. It's really pretty. It's Roman Catholic, they say. The other, where we just were, is controlled by Greek Orthodox. That's what the tour guide said. Slaying a dragon. It's really interesting. I don't know who did it or the details, but it's really cool. Here we have the shepherd's fields in Bethlehem. It talks in the Bible about the hillsides. You can imagine all this without houses and city buildings and apartments, but just a city up on that hill, Bethlehem, and then these Judean hillsides. We're heading to Jerusalem right now, and our guide asked if we wanted to see the what was it? The U.S. Embassy that is moving to Jerusalem. Of course, we erupted in support of that, and yes, we do want to see that. So that's going to be exciting. We'll get to see that, and then we're heading to the hotel. And how are you doing over here? Good. Tired. Tired. Yeah. Yeah. It is, without a doubt, it's an adventure. It is physically exerting, I think, exhausting. There's a lot of hiking that's involved, and some of the hiking is somewhat strenuous. And so I think to prepare for Israel, and I think it probably said this in the brochures, but I don't read a lot of that, unfortunately, that you should prepare by exercising prior to. Do you have a problem with it? No, he doesn't have a problem with it, but not so much for me. So anyhow, we'll see that. We'll go to the hotel. Here we are entering Jerusalem. This is the U.S. Embassy to our left. Couldn't take any video out there, but for whatever reason. But it's fully operational and active, and so it's kind of cool to see that. And I figured it would be a bureaucratic nightmare, but it's up and going, and I was encouraged about that. This is the hotel we are at in Jerusalem. Really, really nice. We made it to Jerusalem, and we're here at our hotel, and he's eating some sweets and getting us all of our stuff connected to the Wi-Fi. And so, anyhow, behind me, I can't really see it, but is the buildings of Jerusalem. We're at a nice hotel, as you saw in the previous thing. And this evening's just kind of rest and relax, because tomorrow morning we've got to go up early, get up early at 6:45 to go and begin our day at the Western Wall, right? And get to start the day there and see a bunch of cool stuff tomorrow. So anyhow, if you haven't seen the other videos, what are you doing? Stretching? If you haven't seen the other videos, then go on maybe and check those out on my page. And it just gives you a snapshot into the things that we've been doing and have on this trip, and what a trip to Israel is like, at least this trip. And but I will say that we did a lot of walking today, and we have done a lot of walking the entire time. It's been a bit of an adventure in regard to hiking and things of that nature, but it's worth it. You can only see this. Worth it to get these moments. Anyhow, so go check out those other videos if you get a chance, and I'll see you soon.